Greetings, 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 my family. How are you? Welcome to the Dopest Nerd. It's your girl, the Dopest Nerd. Shout out to the Nerd Herd family. We love you like cook food. Come on in. You know the routine. You know the routine. Come in, leave your shoes by the door. Make sure you grab yourself some fuzzy socks and jump on the couch, stay a while, enjoy yourself, relax. Uh, we have a good show for you to talk, a good show for you today. So be sure to come on in, throw a like when you enter the room, make sure that people know that we're doing something over here worth watching. Let them know. Let them know that we're doing something good and that you love what we do. And it helps the channel grow. You guys know what it is. We want to grow the channel. It helps the channel grow. It helps us get more views. And the bigger and the better we get, the more we can cover, the more we can do. As I said before, I was admonished by one of my content creation buddies. If you love what we do over here and you love interacting with your girl, be comfortable supporting the channel and supporting our endeavors. It'll allow us to do a lot more. You see my cash tag on the screen, $ the dopest nerd, or you feel free to continue to do your super chats, super stickers, whatever. Remember that the way that you choose to support the show either benefits the channel or it benefits YouTube. So if you like what we're doing, go ahead and benefit the show as opposed to benefiting YouTube. I think they're pretty well off in their pockets. I think they are comfortable financially. Shout out to the Nerd Herd family that's coming to visit us. Shout out to the Dopest Mod. Shout out to all the mods who come in here, take your drink orders. We have a little lunchtime drink order. Let's get it going. Be sure to let your drink request to be known. Grab your fuzzy socks. You know what to do. Get your fuzzy socks out of the basket. Line your shoes up in a neat row. We don't want to obscure the door. Once you come in, jump on the couch. It's nice and cozy. Stay a while. There's so much going on in the world. There's so much. I've been working on this morning, trying to react to this video, and that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to discuss it, but we're also going to react to a video. And although the story started roughly about 4 months ago, it's a very important story to discuss because it frames out the deception of Trump and Vance, and it shows you how the grift is taking place. And I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to keep telling y'all about this grift because people just don't get it. And you got to get it. You got to get it. In order for this to end, you have to see the grift. I'm going to show you the origin of this whole they're eating the cats and dogs crap. I'm going to show you the origin and how deceptive when it first happened, it was rooted on a lie, how this racism thing persists is a better way to say it. And I also want to show you guys something else. Let's see. I have something. I'm sorry. Let me come back. I have something else I want to show you guys. Because I had somebody make a statement and say that they were unclear about something. And so I wanted to be able to bring you guys something to be able to clearly define what it is so that there is no discrepancy. There seems to be some sort of a discrepancy. And I'm glad that this person said this because it allows me to have this conversation up front. And so because we are the term colonizer, don't recall who it was that said it, but you know who you are. I'm going to look up your name and I'm going to give it to the mod, the dopest mod, and have her put it in the chat. So the word colonizer. We have an international family here. We love all our people. We are not continuing to allow the grift that has taken place. And that's why I'm showing you this video. We have been lied to. Not only have Black people been lied to, see, we know we've been lied to. That's why we fight so hard to make sure that the lie ends. But I need white people, I need Asians, I need Latinos, I need everybody to know that you too have been lied to. Oh, see, the con game is only a con game when they lie to everybody. You ever have a guy or lady you're dating, and you love being with them and you love interacting with them, and you hear them tell all these stories about their friends and their cousins and their this, and you're always like, the cookout sounds fun. How come he doesn't invite me? Or how come she doesn't invite me to the cookout? And it seems like they gaslight you by telling you all these amazing stories, but then they never invite you to the cookout. Or maybe let's say you didn't hear from them for a couple of days, and you call, you like, hey babe, what's up? I haven't heard from you in a couple of days. And they'd be like, oh, I was tired. I had to recuperate from the cookout. You know, my family had a party. We had a ball, man. I was toe up. And you're like, hello, what am I, chopped liver? It's not like this is somebody you've been dating for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. This is somebody you've been kicking it with for a while. And so why can't you come to a family party or event? It's not like you're introducing the person to your family as, this is my intended, we're going to get married. You're just saying, hey, this is somebody I'm saying, I'm somebody I'm kicking it with. And so they never invite you, and you feel like, why am I being kept separate? And so they tell you all these good stories and bad stories about that side, and you're all emotionally invested. And when he's mad, you mad because you mad at that cousin that always does this, that, or the third. But guess what? They never invite you and they never let you meet them, because while they're telling you stories about them, they're telling them stories about you. So let me explain something. A colonizer and what a colonizer is. And let me make it a little bigger for you so there's no discrepancy. A colonizer, and these are the multiple ways to pronounce it. A colonizer is a noun. There are multiple definitions, but let me read you these two. It is a country that sends settlers to a place and establishes political control over it. So not just political control, because you can't trust the colonizer to define what they are. Political, financial, emotional, educational, every form of control. Portugal was a major colonizer in both Brazil and parts of Africa. Yeah, they don't want to tell you about the other white nations that were colonizers. Like, this is a colonizer statement. The fact that you say Portugal, that you point the finger at Portugal and not at Europe, England and Great Britain, the fact that you don't mention them, that's a colonizer move. I need y'all to be clear on what I got to say, because I don't want anybody in here like, oh, she's racist. First of all, Black people cannot be racist. We can be prejudiced. We can be a whole lot of things, but we cannot be racist, because racism requires you to be a colonizer and have that level of political, financial, educational, emotional, and every other geographical control to affect the lives of the other people that you are supposedly being racist to. That power exists solely in the hands of the colonizers. And those are the colonizers here, the ones that stand firm, flat-footed, typically white people, but it can be Asians or other. They stand flat-footed and they tell indigenous or Black people or people that they moved from their land of origin to another geographic location for the purposes of exploiting them, go back where you came from, as if they asked to come here. Also, a person or group of people who settles among and establishes political control over the indigenous people of an area. They are among the few indigenous groups who were never converted to Catholicism and Spanish colonizers. See, even the definition is flawed, because what they're trying to do is 52 fake out. What they're trying to say is not us, them over there. It's them. It ain't them over there. It's them. But the definition that is out there in the landscape was created by colonizers. So they ain't gonna never tell you what they did. It's like your lying cousin. He ain't gonna never tell you what he did. He only gonna tell you what everybody else did. But his hands is clean. He the good guy. I was just trying to calm it all down. I was trying to tell everybody, settle down. We ain't got to be that. The definition, by definition, this is a colonizer statement. They control the resources. They control the education. They control the opportunities. They control the finances. They control access to jobs, access to everything. And if they feel like this group of indigenous people for whom they've established this level of control over is achieving too much, hence Rosewood, hence Tulsa, Oklahoma, hence all of the lovely places that Black and indigenous people were excommunicated to, pushed into a corner, and then they took that piece of dirt and got some water, like Yeshua the Christ, put some spit into the thing, the clay, made it around, made a paste on the eyes of the blind man, and said, go to the pool and wash your eyes. Because we take the little bit, in layman's term, we know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. Now, don't think this is a white against Black thing, although typically it is. It is not just that. We are in a time where you are getting to learn that you too are colonized. White people have been colonized by other white people because they feel like you are too friendly, too loving, and too amenable to other indigenous, Black, or brown people. And if you get along with them too much, you are being colonized as well. And not only are you being colonized, you're being lied to. So let's just get that straight. It took someone to say to me, one of the Nerd Herd family, he said, I'm Mexican, and I never understood what you meant when you said colonizers. Thank you so much for explaining it, because I didn't get it. And I said, you know what? Let me make a little slide. Let me go up on the Canva and make a little slide so that we have clear understanding, because oftentimes we can make the foolish mistake that everyone understands us. And that is where most differences arise from, because we think that people just understand. We are the only us that we know. And so we think the clear, concise words coming out of our mouth are being received the way we are sending them and the way we're intending them to land. But that is not always the case. And so I thought it not robbery to make a little slide. I did it all by myself. Trusty Dusty in school. I did it all by myself. But I wanted you guys to be clear that when I say colonizer, like I said before, and I'm going to reiterate, all white people are not colonizers. However, all colonizers are typically white. You understand? Exactly, Chrissy. Perception versus perspective. We are not here to be prejudiced or discriminatory in any way against anyone. You know, this is a land of the plenty. We are united by being nerds, honey. And that supersedes all. It supersedes all. Absolutely. Shout out to you, Masai. Masai said, I'm Mexican American, and I've known about colonizers, unfortunately. And you are 100%. Absolutely. Because listen, they don't just lie to Black people. They lie to everybody. They keep the party separate. It's like I was telling you about never getting invited to the cookout or the party. They keep you separate so that you guys can't get together and find out the lies that the main person, the common denominator person told. They don't want y'all close to us because they think if you're close to us, then you're going to say, well, hold on. I thought you guys hated us. Exactly. Let me illustrate it the best way. When they shut down TikTok, they did not expect that Americans would run over to Red Note. They didn't even think we knew about it. They didn't think Americans would run over to Red Note and then start talking, using translation software to talk to the Chinese and say, well, hey, we're tired because we got to work all these hours and we're broke because we got to pay for all these education. They're like, you pay for education. Law school is only $798 in China. The entire law school to get a degree. Meanwhile, you paying $798 a credit here. You understand? What they did not anticipate. They see what happens when you, just like God says, he will take what is for good, what is for bad, and make it for good. It is institutionalized and individual racism. That is, baby, let me put you on the screen, honey. You're the teacher's pet for the day. Institutionalized and individual racism, hereto sexism, etc., is indoctrinated from your first breath. Baby, you said a mouthful. You get the apple, the teacher's apple for the day. You get it. You get it. You get the gold star, my love. Because, baby, $798 is a car payment. Yes, Chrissy. Tell the people. Say it louder for the people in the back, my love. Tell them. But in China, their law school is $798. They didn't understand the concept of student loans. They thought Americans were just brats and squandering all their money, and that's why they didn't have money. It took for them to try to deceive us by shutting down TikTok and for us to go seek the information ourselves to find the truth. How bad is that? And then Asians started telling us all types of stuff that their civilization or the colonizers tell them about us. And it is completely a lie and far-fetched from the reality. And we started sharing what they told us. And they were just like, we didn't know why y'all didn't like us. We thought you didn't like us. Come to find out, we ain't got beef with each other. It is the man, the man. I'm going to say it again, honey. Y'all heard about the man in movies. Oh, the man is a real thing. The man is the system of colonization, the control locust of wanting to colonize indigenous people and lie to them for the purposes solely of control, financial gain, and manipulation and gaslighting and all that. So we're going to put it on the table. I'm going to have Locked create a glossary. And we're going to put it in the member section for you to always, if you are unsure about what I'm talking about, you can go to that glossary and you'll be able ping, ping. Oh, that's what she means. Because I don't want anyone to ever. And thank you so much. If you're in the chat, let me know. Thank you so much for the person who said, they commented, I got to look in the comments. They said, let's see if I can find their name. I'm sorry, y'all. You know, I'll be working a bunch of phones. Let's see. Oh, I gotta see where I saw the statement. Let's see. I don't see the statement. It's somewhere in here, but I don't see the person. My apologies, guys. However, I will find it and we're going to give them a shout out and they get a gold star too, because thank you for saying it. Sometimes, listen, your girl, I told you, I always am willing to stand corrected. I'm always willing to hear what you have to say. I want to know what you think. It's important to me. And the only way we can come to a head and come to an awareness and an agreement is when we all know what we're talking about, when we have clear understanding. Let's see. I wish I could find the comment. I'm going to find it and I'm going to let you guys know. But now on to our topic du jour, because I want to show you something first that shows where this, how this whole Haitian, they're eating the dogs and the, so this is a master class. You see what it says? A master class in satire. I'm going to make it big because I want you to be able to see what she says and hear what she has to say. A moment.
I was born in Springfield and I've lived here most of my life. I can't believe these Haitian immigrants would come here and fill jobs that local Springfield residents would not or could not do. And now they've raised the average city wage for both Springfield and Clark County. They're paying income tax to the city that the city desperately needs for services. They're making some of the local losers look bad by their example. It's unbelievable. The Haitian immigrants are working overtime to save up money to buy up all the dilapidated, condemned, and boarded up homes in Springfield, then fixing those houses up to make them livable again. This is raising property values across the city and county to the point where the valuation of all real estate in the city surpassed $1 billion last year for the first time ever. This in turn increases the property taxes paid to Clark County for those homes that are now no longer boarded up nuisances. I can't believe they're helping to fund our government and beautify our neighborhoods. These Haitian immigrants are now spending money in our community to where new restaurants and retail spaces keep opening up across the city. What absolute madness. Now we have new businesses in town generating more tax revenue for our city and county. I have a good paying job with great benefit, but because I have main character syndrome, I was born in Springfield and I've lived here most of my life. I can't believe these Haitian immigrants would come here and fill jobs in local Springfield.
Think of the master class. What a master class in satire. She had to collect and gather them and let them know all of this negative stuff you are saying about the Haitian immigrants. It is because of them. Our city has grown and is flourishing now because the union jobs left and took with it all of the revenue that was being made made. It is your own, the man, government officials, and private corporation owners who are only interested in making money. They could care less about your right to have unions. 1 second. Let me go in now. And they could care less about your right to have unions or anything for that matter. And what they're doing is moving the unionized corporations out of the country so that they can pay labor almost nothing. If you were in the union and you made $50 an hour, they will spend millions of dollars to close that business and move it to the Philippines or somewhere else where they can pay people the equivalent of $7 American to do the job you did for 50. So it is not the Haitians oppressing you. It is your own corporate colonizers, white men, let's call it what it is, violating and destroying the economic infrastructure in these cities, taking it over somewhere else, and then letting you fight amongst yourselves, thinking the little guy is causing you to not have money. Springfield, I'm going to show you another thing. Let me cue it up. How do I do this again? All right, I'm going to take that down, stop sharing. I'm going to come back here and share the next video. Share screen. I wish I could just, okay. Now this is where it all started. This is where it all started. And this is, gosh.
Anna?
Yeah.
How can I help you today? Or how can we try to help you?
My cat got out a couple days ago.
Okay.
And me and my daughter was in the backyard earlier.
Sure.
And he had something cut up in the backyard. And it looks like the inside of a cat.
Okay. Would you like to show me?
We brought it in the house and put it in a bag. My daughter has a picture of it on her phone.
So what do you plan on doing with this corpse?
Huh?
What do you plan on doing with the corpse?
I don't know what we're going to do with it.
Okay. Is it like in your refrigerator? Or?
Yeah. We put it in the refrigerator. We're trying to get it cremated. If it's a cat.
If it's a cat?
We're trying to figure out if it's a cat or not.
Can I see it?
Yeah, these Haitians just don't do it. I mean, they take it out. They can't fly with the legs.
Is it an inside-outside cat of yours?
He's really an indoor cat. I don't know how he got out. He must have got out when someone opened the door, but he don't go no further than the door back there if he's going to get out. And he don't go no further than that. I mean, how he got away, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know.
Oh, that's all you got? I thought you actually had something. Does it look like it's fur? Your cat's fur?
No.
He has to open
No,
it up.
I'm not going to open that. I'm
There's
sorry.
no fur out there.
No.
No.
Is it just bones?
No, all we seen was like white meat. And we looked it up on Google and it says it's cat meat.
What, the white meat?
Yeah.
You,
Yeah, just open the bag so we can
nah,
see.
man, I'm good. I don't.
Oh.
So you just got meat in there?
Yeah.
Meat, no bones?
Yeah.
Okay. Meat with no bones. Is there any fur or anything?
No.
No fur. And when did your cat get out of the house?
We believe.
Now, I have to stop it for a second because I'm pissed off. This is the impetus. This bullshit right here is the impetus of they're eating the cats and dogs lie. Can you believe this? You couldn't find your cat. And so you and your daughter were out back and you saw a pile of meat somewhere through the backyard, and you told yourself, this is the Haitians. They ate my cat. She made that up. And then the black man sitting with her is supposed to be her man. That's her man. Now, there's a whole other thing I could go off on, but I'm not gonna get sidetracked. I get sidetracked sometimes. Not today. He says to the cop, these Haitians are out of control. Now, if that ain't the flesh-eating bacteria of black skin against other black people, you don't know these people. You haven't taken the time to get to know them, but you are throwing into the lexicon, into the discussion, those Haitians, they out of control. They must be eating cats and dogs or something. That is what the man said. That is what the man said. Why? Predicated on what? This is what I'm talking about. This is the bullshit. This is the not me and mine, y'all over there. Why? This is the impetus of they're eating the cats and dogs. So you went in the backyard and saw some random meat on the floor. No fur, no bones. You said not only you decided because you can't find your cat, that you're going to scoop this random unidentified meat up that you think is your cat with no verifiable proof that it's your cat, and put it in an old, not even Wonder Bread bag, some old off-brand Piggly Wiggly plastic bag. It was a bread bag. You scooped him up, and then he said, where is it? Inside, she said, we put it in the fridge. You scooped up unidentifiable meat that you found in your backyard that you accused of being the remnants of your cat. Oh, yes, K-Lig. Yes, I do remember, honey. And I'm going to bring it up to you. And I'm going to tell you why this is so important to me. You found some unidentified meat in the backyard. You don't know what it is. You could have brought humbugal osmosis in. That's probably what this new swine flu is. That heifer started it. You'd have found some weird meat. You scoop it up, put it in an empty bread bag, and put it in your refrigerator. And then, like I always talk about, innuendo, speculation, and conjecture in an untrained hand with nefarious intent and stupidity in tow is dangerous. Innuendo, speculation, and conjecture is equivalent to a speeding bullet left in an untrained hand. Cite your sources. You see, had she cited her sources, she even had the audacity to say, I looked on Google and it said if it's white meat, it's a cat. I'm going to continue and progress. You see how stupid and disrespectful and foul this is, right? Wait till y'all see the whole grift. And she looked like, let me just add this in. She looked like a stone cold junkie. Let me just put that in. I don't know this woman. I don't want to disparage her. She looks like a junkie. She got cracky all over her. I know that meth. We all know it. That's all I'm gonna put there. Let me bring her on back for you. I want to make it big. I want y'all to see this foolishness in its full glory.
Saturday would be 7, 26, 25, the 24th.
Yeah.
Did you see anybody with your cat?
No.
Well, I doubt they'll cremate meat, just random meat, okay, muscle. So, which neighbor do you think did it? Or do you think anybody?
People over here.
Okay.
People downstairs when we were outside saying something about it. She were able to close the blinds like she knew something about it.
Is that when you were talking in the backyard?
Yeah.
Okay. He said it's not really an outside cat. No. So it stays inside.
She usually don't go outside.
Yeah. What kind of fur does your cat have?
I can't take her back in the house. He wants to see a picture of her.
You're holding. You don't even want to hold it, but that's the cat you love.
Is that a little orange, a little black?
Yeah, a little orange, brown, and black. She's like a Maine Coon.
Can't say.
All right. So your cat gets out. Cat gets out Saturday. That's normally an inside cat. You guys haven't seen it since. And then you guys go back there and you see basically a pile of meat.
Yeah.
It looks like white meat. Google it. It says it might be cat.
Yeah.
But is that? I mean, it looks cooked, right? The meat that you picked up, did it look cooked or was it raw? Or
No, it looks raw to me.
looked raw. Okay. All right. Well, we'll get it documented for you. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, I can't really go talk to the neighbors or anything like that. There's not really, I guess, any proof that would suggest that they took it more than a suspicion. Okay, but we'll at least document it for you and everything. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Now, this lie, this nasty, dastardly lie, is the impetus of they're eating the cats and dogs. This lie right here. She said, here, hold it. This ninja was like, oh, I don't want to hold it. But that's your lovey-dovey cat you love so much. You know, hold your cat. You picked a pile of raw, random meat up out the yard, and because a woman looked out of her blinds and then closed the blinds, you then sat there and said, this is my missing cat. She ate it. She's a Haitian immigrant. She ate my cat. This is all that's left him. She's looking at me when I found my cat. Do you know how fucking absurd this stupidness is? They are denigrating an entire group of people. Let me tell you something about Haiti. Haiti was the first civilization that freed itself from enslavement. Okay? They were the first free Black nation post-colonial enslavement. They were occupied by the French government. Napoleon, whose military was considered undefeatable, 35,000 soldiers. And they said this was the greatest military in the world at the time, and you could not defeat them. But guess who defeated them? 3,000 Haitians in the swamp decimated Napoleon's 35,000-man army and sent the remainder, annihilated most of them, unalived them, beat them to smithereens, and sent them running back. Why do you think he always got his hand in his breastplate? Defeat. Beat them to smithereens, unalived them, unalived the enslavers, and freed themselves. 1804. Look it up. Here's another tidbit of information that you guys don't know. The United States government, when they fought the Revolutionary War to be able to be free, guess who helped them fight the war to gain their freedom from the British? Haitian militia. Haiti. Put some respect on their name. Tired of this. That's why they keep denigrating them. I went to a school in Brooklyn, New York. First of all, my godmother's Haitian. Irene St. Victor, God rest her soul. She is an ancestor now. This woman was golden. You hear me? My mother met her when I was an infant. She needed someone to be able to watch her kids. My mother was an immigrant. She needed someone to take good care of her children while her and my dad worked. She met my godmother. We lived on the same street. She was a babysitter first. I slept in the same crib as my godsister. Okay? Infant, months old. That's my sister. That's my sister. My godmother took care of us. Like when my mother decided she was going to go back to school, go to school and go work full-time and go to college full-time, we spent so much time at my godmother's house. We were family. That's my family. Go look on my 25th anniversary. One of my cousins is my cousin from my godmother. One of the first people up there. That's my family. Sac passe. Put some respect on Haitian's name. I ain't tolerating it. I don't care if you black. I don't care if you're from the Caribbean. Haitians are Caribbean. They are indigenous to their plot of land, Hispaniola, whatever you want to call it. Dominicans is Haitian too. They was just colonized on that side by the Spaniards. There's a lot of Haitians over there, but they disrespectful. They disrespectful to the Haitians, because what was Trujillo? He said, "Protecta la raza," or uplift the race. Uplift the race mean whitewash your family by don't date nobody dark skinned. Find you a lighter complected or a white complected who will have you, so you can lighten up your bloodline, so you can be like the colonizers. How stupid. There's a little saying they say, something la raza, like uplift the race. Put some respect on Haitians. On this channel, it won't be tolerated. You ain't disrespecting no Haitians over here. You're not. You're not. Let me tell you something. I was fully immersed in Haitian culture. First of all, my godmother's premise was if you can't say it in Creole or French, you don't want it. So you had to learn. Not the least of which is I grew up immersed in a whole Caribbean community. I told you I grew up with mostly the Caribbean side of my family. So I grew up with the Trinis, the Haitians, Jamaicans, everything. I used to be out there with the Haitian girls in the schoolyard. Zoop, doop, kebela. Say kies, sao mem. Oh, baby, your girl is multilingual. I went to a school called Centre Bilingue. That's in French. In Spanish, it's Centro Bilingue. In English, is the bilingual center. You either took Spanish or you took French. We called it the French side or the Spanish side. Okay? But we ended up both knowing each other's languages. And let me tell you something. While people looked at it as a school of immigrants in New York, who wasn't always particularly friendly in that time either, they looked at it as this school went from pre-K. First of all, we had a brilliant principal. Her name was Joe Bruno, Josephine Bruno, but everybody called her Joe Bruno. You want to know what she looked like? You ever heard of the actress? What's her name again? She was in all the horror movies, Slim. Early days of, what is her name? It slipped my mind. I can't think of it. I'm going to tell you in a minute. Jamie Lee Curtis. Joe Bruno looks at, in fact, we used to make a joke and say, I used to say when I was younger, I'm going to write a movie about this school, the Bilingual Center, and Jamie Lee Curtis is going to play Joe Bruno. And it's not too late. The woman was a brilliant woman ahead of her time. I went to a school that was more Montessori and magnet school and charter school than it was public school, because this woman understood that this group of people had something so special. First of all, Joe Bruno, if I'm not mistaken, she was Italian. Her sister, Nubi Russo, was the math whiz. We had the highest grade point average in the entire District 17 in New York, and a lot of neighboring districts as well. There were people that went to school with me. We went from pre-K to the 8th grade. We knew each other. We did everything. We traveled. We went to the Poconos. We went here, there, out of the country, all types of stuff. And guess what? People that graduated from my school got perfect scores on the SAT. People like to call us, because there was a mini building in our schoolyard, but that wasn't the mini building that corresponded with my school. My school was PS 189, the Bilingual Center. There was a mini building in our schoolyard, but it corresponded with the school 2 blocks away called IS 398. That was their mini building. And their mini building housed their special ed students, special education. And so in the neighborhood, the people that went to IS 398, that was in front of this apartment complex called Rutland Plaza, knew that the mini building was the special ed kids. So then they said all of us were the special ed kids, which was absolutely, and no disrespect to special ed, because we come in all shapes and sizes, but that was absolutely insane. We were some of the most brilliant students in New York City. In fact, when I graduated and I went to high school, There was a contest. I believe it was 1980. It was 85, 86. Had to be 85, 86. And they were looking for each assembly district in New York. I believe it's 149 assembly districts in New York. That is a represented micro district, and it was represented by your local politician, which was your local assemblyman. And in the downstate and upstate regions of New York State, there's 149 districts, 140 or 149. Quote me, Google me, cite me somebody, one of the mods or somebody. They did a contest for the most intelligent students in New York to represent each one of the districts to ratify 3 new amendments to the Constitution. Now, do this sound like some light work? I was one of those students. Okay. I represented Assemblyman Clarence Norman Jr. from my section of Brooklyn. You know what I ended up working on? And let me tell you something. 149, there were probably maybe 11 Black kids. So I would say like Latino that was more brown, melanated Latino, and Black. Mostly Black, probably like 2 Latinos. And well, PS 189. I was PS 189 and they were IS 398. And so there were like 11 of us. So we already knew, because all of our parents said, now look, we had to go, my mother had to take me shopping. We had to go get all these outfits. We sat in the we sat in the Assembly Hall in the Capitol building, in the seats of the politicians, and ratified 3 amendments to the Constitution. You know what I worked on? The Graham-Rudman-Hollings Act. Finance. When I was 15, 16, we had to go in there, and I'm telling you, listen, when we all got there, you know, there was a meet and greet, and then you got to meet some of the other people. And, you know, the Black kids, we all, like we do, because really, sometimes they're pushing us away, so we all co-assemble together. And everybody was very prim and proper. The boys, they had on their ties, and they, oh, you know, how are you? It's a pleasure to meet you. Oh, yes, I represent such and such. Everybody was prim and proper, honey. Let me tell you, blood clots. All of our parents warned us, you better go up there. You better be on your best behavior. You better do your work. Don't make nobody have to call me and tell me nothing about you. Oh, we knew better. Honey, we had all our pajamas. We brought cards. We brought jacks. We brought all kinds of stuff. Shout out to Barbara J for becoming a new member of the Nerd Herd. Welcome to the family. Love you. Thank you for being a part of it. Everybody give Barbara, our new member, some love. We all brought our PJs and our cards and our, you know, dominoes and stuff like that, because we know we're going to get together. We got to do something. When we had, we were playing like Pity Pat and Spades and all of that. We got together in we was in one room or 2 rooms. Some girls was doing makeup. Some people was painting their nails. Some people was playing cards, stuff like that. But we could hear screaming, running, laughing up and down the hall. We was like, what is going on out there? We look out the door, the white kids. Oh, they buck wildin'. I'm talking Daisy Dukes. Now, first of all, it was freezing cold winter. Baby, we were in Albany, New York, closer to the Canadian border. Okay? Upstate. It was Brick City. These ninjas in the hallway running around in Daisy Dukes. They got kegs. We were high school students. These ninjas had somebody upstate. The people that lived upstate found somebody, older brothers or something, to bring them a keg of beer. We gathered together and said, let's go look, y'all. Let's go see what they're doing. We go looking in rooms. People is butt naked. Okay? We saw some girls scantily clad, and adults was up in there. I believe one of them was one of the assemblymen. Upon my belief and opinion. Okay? Scandal. Okay? We could smell. We went to other rooms. We could hear. I was like, what is going on? These kids look so straight-laced and prim and proper. We went in one room. There was an entire keg sitting on the floor. All of the beer from the keg was in the tub. They were dipping their cups in the tub. And there was a girl in the tub in a bathing suit. We was like, what the is going on? Baby, we took off. We didn't even want to witness. We said, let's go. take your behind back to your room, because anyhow we get caught up in here, they're going to swear we had something to do with it. Baby, we got out of there. You hear me? We got out. We said we're going to stay in here and play spades. We're going to play dominoes. We're going to mind our black business and stay in this room. We were there for 3 days. 3 days, 2 nights. Baby, when I tell you, some of them left the hotel and were out on the town. They got in trouble. One of them got arrested in a bar. It was mayhem. Mayhem. We was like, these ninjas, that's crazy. Running up and down the hall. The hotel people kept coming. It was mayhem. And guess what? We just knew that they was going to be sloppy and drunk and looking disheveled. The next day, them suckers were sitting up. Call to order. I was like, we were looking at them like, wait, are these the same people? Is that the chick that was swimming in the beer? Swimming in the beer tub. These ninjas was wrapped up, buttoned up, perfect. And that's when we got our first understanding of how they get down. The elite, how they get down when the cat's away, the mouse will play. They was conducting themselves like, I'm talking, we were like, what are we seeing? We couldn't believe it. Baby, we was talking about them like it was going out of style. Because what else do you do? The biggest trouble we was getting ready to get into was gambling spades, spending money and gambling with each other. These ninjas swimming in a beer keg tub. We are raised differently sometimes. We would not have dared to do any of that. For our mothers to hear a story about how we showed our black behinds up in them good white folks' place, never. They didn't care. They did what they wanted. And then sat in the chamber the next 2 days. I told you we were ratifying 3 amendments to the Constitution. And they were as prim and proper, like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so theoretically we should do that. We were in shock, like, wait, what is going on? My dear, these ninjas was a whole thing. I keep telling people, you have to not assume, because people looked at us and was kind of like thinking we were going to be the bad guys. We was quiet like a church mouse. Okay? And we knew better. Most of us were Afro-Caribbean. There were a few Black American kids, Afro-Caribbean, and like I said, the 2 Latino, like Afro-Latino kids. Or she was more Latino, but she was just brown. The other one was more like Afro-Latina. But we understood that we couldn't go show our skin. We saw that there was a whole different world. You have to understand, people will put their microaggressions on you. They assumed we would be the trouble. No, I told you there was a girl that got arrested. She was back up in there the next day like nothing ever happened. Strange happenings. And so a lot of the opportunities I was exposed to, a lot of the opportunities I got in my life at the hand of Haitians. Haitians are brilliant. They would come and be 12, 13 people deep in an apartment. Give them 3 years. They all buy in their own house. When you first meet the kids, they got high waters on, mismatched clothes, baby. Get them 2, 3 years. They, as American as anybody else, paying taxes, own property, they will all pile up in a house, share the same pot of food, share everything, share resources. And then we have something called a susu that we do as Caribbean people. And each person will get a hand in a susu. So every week you got to put for a prescribed amount of weeks. Let's say the susu runs for 3 months. And every week you have to put a certain amount. Let's say they say you got to put 100. They call it throw in a hand. You put $100 a week every week for the 3-month period or 4-month period. Sometimes it's 200, sometimes it's 500, sometimes it's $50. But it's a group of people you have to trust. The newer member of the group, because you haven't been vetted and proven, and I don't care what's going on. Your child could be sick. You better pay your susu hand. People don't play about a susu. You'll get beat down. You will get hurt. I'm talking fisticuffs. And so they will enter a susu, throw a hand, and then you get the lump sum. The reason we do that is because you want to community pool your money, and banks would not lend Black people money like that. So a lot of Black people worked well, worked hard, had jobs, could pay the money for their home, but they couldn't save up the down payment. Throwing your hand in a susu could give you $20,000 cash up front, $15,000, enough to buy a house. And that's how all the Haitians and Trinidadians and Jamaicans, everybody, that's why they all got houses. They used to say, oh, those immigrants bind up together, and next thing you know, stop hating. Learn something from it. So let me get back. Now I want to show y'all something else. Let's get back to the main video at hand. I showed you the lie. Let's get back to the main video. This woman with her friggin' cat just lying up a storm. Like, I couldn't even believe that she told that nasty lie. Scooping up fake cat remains. The audacity, the sheer madness of it all. And saying the Haitians ate her cat. Well, here's the real deal. This is the creme de la creme that we came to watch.
I knew that there was going to be chaos. I had no idea how bad it was going to be.
An American city suddenly thrust into a political firestorm.
The small city of Springfield, Ohio.
Springfield, Ohio. Maybe you remember it.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
Is this the cat right here?
Oh my goodness, what's
There's
her
the lady
name?
again.
Her name's Miss
There
Sassy.
go her damn
Miss
cat.
Sassy.
For a few weeks in September, this small Midwestern city was the center of the political universe.
15,000 Haitians.
Many of them fleeing poverty and violence.
J.D. Vance claims Haitian migrants are, quote, draining social services and causing chaos.
These days, it's much quieter, but Springfield is still deeply divided. Donald Trump won the city of 60,000 people by less than 150 votes. And with Trump in the White House, the future of Springfield is anything but certain.
We're going to have the largest deportation in the history of our country, and we're going to start with Springfield.
So I wanted to come back here after the camera crews had gone to get to the bottom of what really happened. Why did Springfield, Ohio, become the center of so much pain, frustration, and controversy? And who, if anyone, is really to blame?
They didn't come from this country. They didn't work here. I worked for what I get.
It hurts when you're hearing about yourself, your people being degraded for things that is out of your control.
The good thing is now we have the nation's attention. What are we going to do with it? Are we going to concentrate on the real issues that we have here?
I challenge you to stand out there for 1 hour and to seriously put it through your head that you might have to seek shelter somewhere and sleep out in that.
Ladies first, line up over here. We'll come through, sign the book, and dig in.
Baron Seelig has worked in construction for most of his life. Now, he's known as the street pastor. When I met him, he was running on about 3 hours of sleep after spending the last month setting up a warming center for Springfield's homeless.
Swing the camera, that's my, that's it. I've been sleeping in that recliner since December 2nd.
I found Baron because he went viral back in September. When everyone was talking about cats and dogs, Baron was focused on something else.
There is not any relief for the homeless. The homeless people in this community are not the people you think they are.
I served 2 tours in the Gulf. I received a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart, the same action. It don't mean nothing. Back then, I thought I did it for God and country. I did it for the man and woman standing next to me, because if we did our jobs, we all went home. Now that I sit back and I look at it, I went over there to fight a rich man's war for something that was wrong. And then when we come back, they don't provide the help. See, it's good people like him that's looked past, our past and our addictions and the things that we've done, and provides this.
Yeah.
He's provided me with hope.
Right. In the last few years, Springfield saw its rents rise at one of the fastest rates of any city in the country. The city's services, hospitals and schools, have been stretched thin. And many in Springfield have been quick to blame their new Haitian neighbors. But it turns out the problems in Springfield run a lot deeper. What was Springfield like before the Haitians came along? Was it all hunky-dory? Tell me about it.
This is where you nail me, because I'm not going to lie. And all these people who want you to believe this was just utopia before that are liars, and that's bullshit. This town's not what it was when I was growing up. Mom, pop, baseball, apple pie, and Chevrolets, It's not here anymore.
There was a time when Springfield was thriving.
My grandfather came from a little town called Castleberry, Alabama. Back in the early 40s, he heard that jobs were plentiful in Springfield, Ohio.
Jason Barlow used to work for a company called International Harvester, just like his dad and his granddad before him.
When we were hired in here, we thought we hit the gold mine. Full benefits, free health care, we had a pension, and it was terrific.
At its peak, International Harvester employed 10,000 people in the city.
The coolest job you could have, International Harvester. If you worked there, you had made it. Life was like the Truman Show. And it really was like that here.
In 1983, Springfield was featured on the cover of Newsweek as the poster child of the American dream.
Springfield is more than a city. It's a way of life.
And that dream was made possible by organized labor.
We had a very strong manufacturing base, and there was a lot of union density.
Hannah Halbert is the executive director of Policy Matters Ohio.
Ohio used to enjoy a higher median income than the U.S. average. The typical worker in Ohio would get a better deal for their labor here than other parts of America. Workers could come here, join together, and actually bargain for fair terms for their labor.
It was a big union town. It really was.
People of Springfield believe in Springfield. They believe that what is to come will be even better.
When you see your friends losing homes and families falling apart, I mean, it's horrible.
After decades of growth, Springfield's fortunes began to turn. Corporations and their allies in government engineered trade deals that made it cheaper to move jobs abroad where they could pay workers less.
In 2002, they shut this facility down, and they moved everybody out. So you went from 2,000 people to about 250 in that little automated facility.
As the jobs left Springfield, so did the people. Springfield's population fell from more than 80,000 in the 70s to fewer than 60,000 by 2016. At the same time, Ohio state government started cutting funding for essential services like schools and healthcare.
Ohio and the U.S. has plenty of resources that could have devoted to making these communities closer to whole, helping them navigate these kinds of transitions. Policymakers just failed to do that sort of investment.
Instead, they pursued tax cuts for the rich.
In 2005, Ohio embarked on a series of tax cuts. The state began cutting income tax mostly for the wealthiest of Ohioans. The tax changes from 2005 alone are taking over $12 billion out of Ohio's state revenues per year. It's a huge loss, and that is the loss that's hurting regular Ohio working families.
In Springfield, the impacts of these policies were especially stark. No other American city saw more of its middle class fall into poverty between 2000 and 2014. This might be a dumb question, but everything has a reason. Why did we have to do this?
Well, why did we have to do it? Unfortunately, corporate America wanted to do it.
Springfield, like so many American cities, had been left behind. But a new plan was in the works, a plan to bring Springfield back.
I never thought of Springfield as an immigrant place. But then I started noticing Latino people at Walmart. Every dairy farm, all of the workers were Mexicans or Guatemalans. There wasn't a Ohio-born person in there.
Carl Ruby is a senior pastor at Central Christian Church. 10 years ago, he founded a nonprofit organization called Welcome Springfield.
I spoke at different civic groups, and I would just tell the story of Springfield's history. I mean, we are a city with a rich immigrant history.
Springfield, Ohio is no stranger to migration. Poor whites from Appalachia, African Americans from the South, and immigrants from abroad all fueled much of Springfield's early growth.
My parents, they were all hillbillies, man. They all made that Appalachian move toward Detroit, and we made it as far as Ohio.
Welcome Springfield was meant to be the next chapter in that story, a solution to Springfield's ongoing decline. So in late 2014, Springfield City Council adopted a resolution declaring an emergency and declaring Springfield a city welcoming of immigrants. And at first, the strategy seemed to work. The promise of a growing workforce, along with generous subsidies from the state, attracted companies like Amazon, Dole, and Topre America, bringing an estimated 8,000 jobs to the region. But the new jobs weren't like the unionized jobs that had once fueled Springfield's growth.
This building, which is a Japanese corporation, completely different line of work. They do auto parts. It's non-union.
I worked at Topre. Yeah, I did. We got widgets to make, and I get that. But at what cost? That's why I left Topre. On day 98, I walked into the office and said, I've worked 98 days in a row, 12-hour days.
The starting salary at Topre America is around $18 an hour. That's roughly what Jason was making when he first started working, almost 30 years ago.
Now, granted, they brought jobs to the community, but from what I'm told is 12-hour days and a lot of turnover and workers, Haitian workforce now.
People don't understand. The Haitian they came to look for something. They came to better their lives. Their dream is to come to America and live that American dream.
Haitian immigrants started showing up in Springfield around 2017. One of the first groups to help them get on their feet was St. Vincent de Paul. St. Vincent provides food, clothes, and helps people get set up with work permits.
One of my friends just brought me to Topre America. It's a steel plant. So it's really hard on there, but I like it because it's really close where I'm living.
Patrick Joseph makes $18 an hour at Topre, and on average, he works 8-hour days, 5 days a week. But for many of his Haitian friends, it's a different story.
Mois de juin, juillet, août, septembre, octobre. Mois de juin arrivé octobre, on fait 4 mois. Moi-même, on fait 4 mois. Sans sauter jour. Tout haïtien, dans quel que soit côté haïtien arrivé, nous allons nous rentrer côté à nous venir travailler. Il suffit que nous viennent travailler, nous sautons travail, nous finissons manger un bagage, nous baignons, nous rentrons, nous dormons, et puis ok, demain c'est retourner dans le travail encore.
Gilner Jolibois works at Aresti, a company that builds engine parts. He arrived in Springfield after a long and dangerous journey through the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, and the jungles of Mexico.
Our people, they are really strong. We just coming for work, to have a better life, to have a better situation.
So many neighbors like to work 8 hours, 40 hours a week, and then they're fine. Haitians are not like that. They would work 12 hours, and the job market loved it. The owners, they like it.
With the growing population came new restaurants, radio stations, and church services in Creole. And as the number of jobs increased, wages started going up too.
The population of Springfield was dying down. Once Haitian arrived, the market went up. All the local businesses was excelling.
We were moving in a really good direction. We had gone from one of the fastest shrinking cities in the country to one of the fastest growing.
But that population growth accelerated rapidly in 2021. Haiti's president had been assassinated, and gangs were taking over Haiti's capital, forcing hundreds of thousands of Haitians to flee.
I'm really scared for my family because when you wake up, find like 4, 5, 10 dead people in the street, it's not really good. It's human body.
It's important to mention here that Haiti is where it is today, in part because of the United States. A century of U.S. intervention, including violent occupations and the backing of authoritarian leaders, has failed to produce any more security for the Haitian people.
United States is the place people try to come in like an immigrant. There's a reason. There's a reason for that they are coming.
Temporary protected status, or TPS, is a way for people fleeing violence to work legally in the U.S., and Haiti has been covered by this program since the earthquake in 2010. Today, between 15,000 and 20,000 Haitians live in Springfield. But the city, already starved for funding, wasn't ready for that kind of growth.
15 to 20,000 new residents in town. It was a strain on our school.
All right. I wanted to stop it right there. I got to take a call in 10 minutes. So I'm going to stop it and I'm going to keep talking now. Well, when my call comes through, I'm going to let it play. I'm going to take my call, put myself on mute, and then I'm going to come back on with you guys. However, no, I can't do that. I'm going to stop it and go do what I got to do that y'all told me not to say on whatchamacallit, and then I'll come back. But, I'm going to let it play. I'm going to let it play while I'm on my call so that y'all can hear what y'all got to hear. Here's why I stopped it right there, because that's where the lie is. I'm going to run it back a little so you can hear the lie. What did they say when they say the unions left? They said the population had grown to 80,000 people at its highest level. The community was thriving. They had jobs, they had careers, they had unions, and they had 80,000 people. So that means they had a lot of tax revenue. When the corporations made tax cuts for the wealthy and moved all of the companies out elsewhere so that they could hire lower wage people to do the same jobs, they said they had never seen such a massive drop in their middle class. They fell from 80,000 people to 61,000 people. That means you lost roughly 20,000 people. But what did they just say? 15 to 20,000 people to come in our community. We weren't equipped for that. How? You just lost that amount. You see the lies? They don't even realize their own lies. You just lost 20,000 people and it left y'all decimated for the better part of 10 years or 12 years till your infrastructure fell down. You see all those dilapidated buildings? That's just from a few years. When no one lives in a building and it doesn't have life in it and water and lights and running, heat and everything, the building will start to, it's like the earth will start to consume the building. Y'all lost 20,000 people and then gained 15 to 20,000 people and said that your infrastructure couldn't handle it. Why? Because that's what you lost. Mind you, the people that you lost were earning wages and making money. However, they were paying taxes, but getting tax refunds and everything. You got the Haitians who revitalized the entire community, opened businesses, churches, everything. They pay taxes. They have a protected status, but they cannot file tax returns. So you are getting all of that tax revenue without giving any. It is what they call a taxation without representation. They don't reap the benefits from any of their taxes. The taxes go into the local community to be able to provide resources for the people who are not working. And yet, somehow they're getting diverted and the actual indigenous people to Ohio are not getting them. And you blaming the Haitians? You're blaming the Haitians who came and revitalized your community for something they did not do. How? When they are the only people revitalizing your community. This is the dirt. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to play. I want y'all to pay attention to the lady who first said that the people took her cat. That little cat, Sassy, that was walking around as her cat. He gonna double back and tell you where she found her cat. Did she come back publicly and make a big spectacle? Oh, no, I found my cat? No.
Schools, health clinics,
fire departments, and the Springfield police, they have all had huge challenges.
With a typical patient, a doctor's visit is 15 minutes. With a non-English speaking patient, it's like 45 minutes to an hour. We needed federal help with that.
On July 8th, 2024, the Springfield city manager sent a letter to the Senate Banking Committee requesting emergency funding for Springfield. This brought the issue to the attention of Senator J.D. Vance, who was a member of the committee.
Chairman Brown, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to submit a letter for the record from the city of Springfield.
So we were looking for some help. And instead of getting help, he talked about how horrible things were here in Springfield. And I think it was a day or so later, he started talking about the, Haitians eating our, dogs and cats.
I've heard from a number of constituents on the ground, Caitlin. What they're calling and saying is we're seeing migrants kidnap our dogs and cats.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
If attention is what Trump and Vance were going for, attention is what they got.
Springfield, Ohio found itself at the center of a...
I'm sorry, guys. I have to stop it here. This is the impetus of the lie. J.D. Vance finessed himself into the White House by making up a story or exacerbating a lie told by a cracked out hillbilly, by my own belief and opinion, allegedly, that Haitians ate her cat. That cat walking around on the screen for the whole video is her cat. Wait till you hear where she found her cat. I'm livid. But this is how the colonizers, the powers that be, this is how they lie and keep us separated. Look at all of the people who are starving, homeless, eating at a designated place created by a man called the street pastor. And yet you voted for Trump, who is now raiding the federal government and cutting off all of the money and resources that you need to. My God. I'm just livid.
Fraught election year issue.
Every other Tuesday, there's a meeting. Haitians always on the topic.
We become second class to a bunch of people that don't even belong here.
All those great things that Haitians contributed into Springfield, it's like they didn't even exist.
My people, they are chasing the American dream as well. But today, they don't need to be paying the price of something they didn't create.
And what started as a rumor escalated into something else.
Schools in Springfield, Ohio were closed for a second day because of bomb threats.
Springfield hospitals briefly placed on lockdown after receiving bomb threats.
It's sickening to see what's happened. I mean, I lived here all my life and I had never seen a hate group marching down the streets.
We don't need hate groups in Springfield. We have enough problems as a city as it is. But I want to know why it took you all so long to ask the federal and the state government for help. With the stress that's on our police, our fire, our EMTs, our school system, our housing.
Springfield, Ohio is a tinderbox right now. It still kind of is.
Yeah.
And all these people throwing matches, man.
Why do you think so many folks are drawn to these kind of rumors? Why do they get such traction, do you think?
I think rumors like that get traction among people who are struggling, and they're looking for someone to blame for their struggle. And it's easy to pick immigrants.
Is this the cat right here?
Oh my goodness, what's her name?
Her name's Miss Sassy.
Miss Sassy. And this is Miss Sassy right here.
Yep.
Incredible.
Anna and Ron Kilgore are both retired, living off of Social Security and disability payments. In September, their cat went missing.
She must have got out the back door, so she's gone probably for a week. My daughter was over there digging their trash and found some stuff that looks like skin. And I called the police, and that's how it ended up getting in a police report. And that's how J.D. Vance's office got a hold of it.
Hello, ma'am. This is Brian in the office of Senator J.D. Vance.
His office wanted to know about the cat story, and I tried calling back and never got no answer.
Really?
Yeah, so I left a voicemail, and they never did call me back.
And then the cat showed up again.
Yeah, we found her in the basement.
That's where you found the cat?
Yeah, she was down there back in the back.
You're a supporter of President Trump and Vance.
The whole family is.
Whole family is. Tell us a couple of reasons why you support Donald Trump. What about
in the border wall?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And why is that so important to you personally?
Because I'm on Social Security and can't afford to pay for stuff now. I can barely go to the grocery store and put food in my refrigerator. We was in the homeless shelter for a while. And
Both you and Ron?
yeah, me and Ron, my youngest daughter, and my older son.
Have you seen your rent change in the last few
Yeah.
years? How's it changing?
When we first moved in, it was only 500, then it went up to 600. Now it's 700.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because they know they can rent it to a Haitian and get more money out of them.
When Patrick first moved to Springfield, he was forced to live in a 3-bedroom house with 15 other people.
Imagine you're living with 15 people. This is where I live. This is where, the gentleman live with me. This is where another one. So it was not a good living condition.
This happened because Patrick had to wait for his work permit for over a year. The only way that he could pay rent during that time was to split the bill with 15 other people, each paying about $200 per month. That's a great deal for any landlord who's willing to look the other way.
Not only were there landlords taking advantage of people, but it also drove rent up for other people who struggle.
A lot of these corporations and outside landlords have come in and started to take advantage.
Once Patrick got his work permit and a job, he could afford an apartment on his own.
Looking like a king.
Oh, yeah.
King in his castle.
Yes.
What should be done of the people who are exploiting, an immigrant population?
That if you are found guilty by a jury of your peers here, that the punishment should be very, very, very severe if you exploit someone, whether they be refugee or native here.
Do the landlords who are making a ton of money off of the Haitians and kind of kicking you around, how much responsibility do they have in this?
I have no clue.
Yeah. Would you personally put some blame on them for taking
Yes, I would.
advantage of this?
Yeah.
If there was plenty of housing and it was affordable for you and you weren't concerned about Haitians coming in and being able to outspend you, would you feel different about Haitians being in the community, or what do you think?
I mean, yeah, if they weren't being handed money for free, they get these, they call them the Haitians call them magic cards.
This was one of the most common things we heard about Haitians, that they get free money from the government in the form of so-called magic cards.
Right now, they're in the land of milk and honey, baby. They've never lived like this in their life. We have a magic food card. You just take this in and you pick out what you want to eat and you slide this card and you leave with groceries.
You're sending all these immigrants into this country and they're getting thousands of dollars a month because I'm sitting up at Speedway, asking for $1 or some change to get a cup of coffee because I'm shivering for being cold.
There's some people in Springfield we've talked to who said that Haitian immigrants are getting $1,700 vouchers from the government. Is that true? Have you ever heard that?
I'm not sure. You're not going to find any Haitian have $1,700 just to pay.
We looked into it and couldn't find any evidence of magic cards either. It is true that Haitians are able to access many of the same programs as other Springfield residents, programs like food stamps and Medicaid. But here's the thing. An analysis by the Dayton Daily News found that Haitian residents don't rely on public assistance any more than non-Haitian residents. And they're paying back into the system too. You're paying taxes at Topre America, right?
Yes, I do. We have federal income taxes, social security taxes, Medicare tax, Ohio state income tax, also Springfield income taxes, $49 and $31.
So your taxes are paying for people who are currently drawing Social Security.
That's correct.
And you're not drawing Social Security.
No.
Do you get any vouchers for housing from the government?
No.
Not even a dime?
Not even a dime.
He was getting none of that?
None of that, but he was paying into the system.
The exception to the rule.
But what if he isn't? What if
he isn't the exception to the rule?
Yeah.
We're being lied to unbelievably.
I'll tell you what, I'm not living high on the hog. I'm living from day to day, surviving. There's a difference.
Do you think the Haitians are living high on the hog?
Yes.
What if they're not? What if they're just like you?
Then I'm wrong. And I'll admit it.
Yeah.
If you're coming here and your struggle is real and you're here for the right reason, you're more than welcome. I'll welcome you as my brother and sister.
These days, Springfield, Ohio is as divided as ever. Trump won the city by a razor-thin margin, and we know what he plans to do if he decides to follow through with it.
He always said that in his speech. The first thing we're gonna do, go into Springfield to do a mass deportation.
We will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela.
In his first week in office, Trump signed a number of executive orders targeting migrants and refugees, and he even name-dropped Springfield in one of them. Patrick is still here legally, protected by TPS, but that designation is set to expire for Haitians in 2026, meaning his deportation could happen as early as next year.
My family right now, they are in Haiti. I'm working for them. Anything I have, I just send it for them just to feed them in Haiti.
If every single Haitian in Springfield was deported, the city would lose something like a quarter of its population. The last time it had a population that size, Springfield was at one of its lowest points.
We had our problems. I mean, fentanyl and heroin. The Haitians have just added an element to it that nobody figured on.
The arrival of 15,000 Haitian immigrants in Springfield has presented real challenges. Challenges the city is still working to overcome. But the Haitian people brought new life to the city too. And no, they're not eating cats or dogs.
Big buzz.
So it's worth asking, who profits from pitting people against each other, forcing us to fight over food stamps, low-paid jobs, and unaffordable housing? Who, if anyone, is really to blame?
The only reason we are stuck in this us versus them scarcity battle is because the state of Ohio has made decisions to prioritize the wealthiest earners and some of the richest corporations on the planet.
Shame on them. Topre, Dole. You want me to start naming them?
Should they be forced to give back to the community in some way for kind of benefiting from this?
Absolutely. Yeah. Any billionaire could bequeath a check to me to keep doing what I do and not even break a stride. Give me $1 billion and watch what I do.
I would say that the city official has to embrace and encourage financially the community centers who are helping out the Haitian community.
We have our family in Springfield. We have a lot of good people here. We just come in for only one reason: work to get a better life.
You have to have some quality of life, and you can't just be working at a facility 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
While I don't 100% agree with the union, I think the union will protect some of the people, the very people that you're extorting. It's the same fight as it was in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. That's the heart of the union, right? I'm for that part of the union. You can't look at a Haitian guy and go, you came from a third world country, man. You should be grateful that we're allowing you to eat at our Applebee's. Guy works, at Topre. Trust me, I work there. You're working there. You know what I mean? And you're earning your money and you're paying your taxes.
I'm hoping that in 2025, both of them will take time to learn from others, the Haitians, also the resident of Springfield, because we are living here. We're just going to have to find ways to get along and just make Springfield great again or something like that. Yeah.
Hi, thanks for watching our video. If you like this story and you want more stories like this, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to get more Perfect Union in your feed. And if you have stories that you want us to investigate, drop them in the comments below.
In other news, Georgia residents are going to be happy to hear this. It just came out. There's a new website where any Georgia residents, as long as you live within a zip code in the state, you can apply to have your auto insurance rates reduced
points underwriting.
Talk
department
amongst yourself
approves,
for a while. I'm on this call.
your
I'm almost
investment.
done.
They'll continue to work with the
What did
title
you guys think
company
about it?
to finalize closing. You will be able to determine when you want the closing.
Talk about it
date
in the
to
chat
occur.
because I would love to hear what
A
you think about this
notary
video
will be
and
sent
how
out to
egregious
you
it was
wherever
on
you are to
spreading
sign
all of
closing
those
documents.
lies and
A very important document
causing
you'll sign is
all of this stuff to be in the lexicon. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry. What a weird thing for me to do, right? Put y'all on hold while I take a. Wasn't that a fantastic video? How dope was that video? How dope was it? You see how much information we are not being told as a group, and that start off in such and let's just say this. Let's say this woman, we don't know her story and her walk in life. Let's say she suffers from anxiety. These are all hypotheticals. And this cat is so important to her because this cat is her emotional support cat. And so the notion that anything could have happened to this cat drives her insane. That in and of itself is not a problem. Even if she made a false accusation or assumption that someone took her cat. Although, why would somebody take your cat? Child, you know you ain't seen nobody eating no cats. You know you ain't seen nobody eating no cats. However, let's say for a fact that, because here's the thing that the point of note to pay attention to. When the cop got there, he knew her by first name. Like, hey, Lisa, what can we do for you today? Because she sounds like she's always calling the cops for one reason or another. They knew her. And so he was like, so you just saw me? Did you see any fur? They knew she be with the BS. You heard what she said? J.D. Vance they were looking through the records, looking for any kind of thing they could come up with. And then they said, oh, she said her cat is missing. Here it goes. They eating the cats and dogs. You see how people's lives can be altered based on a lie? Lies are dangerous. That's why I always say, cite your sources. Had anybody cited, let's get to the bottom of this cat eating. Has anyone ever seen anybody with fur on their lips? Have you seen somebody with a cat leg hanging out of their mouth? Where's this story? What's the origin of this story? Let's say J.D. Vance had integrity and he said, you know what? I am the congressman, senator, whatever of Ohio. I'm going to go to this house and see this individual and find out what is the impetus of this police report for the missing cat. At which point she would have hobbled her, let me hold $1 self to the door. She would have hobbled to the door and they would have said, oh no, that's Sassy right there. She's here. She would have came to the door and rubbed against J.D. Vance, and all of this would be not for naught. It wouldn't even have existed. Listen, enjoy them nachos, girl. Let me hold one. Give me one. Had he had integrity, and then remember, the governor of Ohio was like, this is a lie. Now, mind you, let me tell you something. I know Ohio. I used to live in Ohio a long time ago, many, many moons ago. I used to live there in Columbus. Ain't nobody eating no cats and dogs. The lunacy of it. Look at what a circus it came from. But also, while I blame old Crackisha, and I blame her boyfriend who wants to be not me and mine. Them blacks over there is the bad blacks. I'm the good black. I blame that. But I also blame. Oh, you lived in Columbus, Ohio too, Tammy? Wow. I used to live in the short north. Down the street from the 8 Ball. You know about that. Exactly. No cat eating, no dog eating. But it is listen, when I tell you that Napoleon, his cronies, and the people in the history books, the American man, they hate Haitians. You want to know why? Because Haiti is one of the richest nations. Haiti is rich. They have gold mines in Haiti. That whole earthquake that happened in 2010, baby, you best to believe and know that that was man-made because they wanted to get to those gold reserves. The Clintons, they straight graped Haiti, no Vaseline, no baby oil. Okay? Graped them. Let's call it what a TI is. And all the other grifters who get a taste of living the high life and want a taste for themselves. All of the little agencies, what's this? Salvation Army, all those things, all those, oh, send money to the Salvation Army for Haiti. They don't give a crap about Haiti. They don't. No. And it is reprehensible that they sit there and take advantage of a lovely Caribbean island nation. By contrast, Haiti and Dominican Republic are on the same landmass, Hispaniola. They are the same bloodline of people. One maintain their African heritage and aesthetic, and the other improve la raza, or whatever the statement is. Whitewash they thing out. Do you know that Trujillo, their former leader, I think that's his name, Trujillo, I'm pretty sure, this joker was so insecure about having African blood and being partly black, he only allowed himself to be photographed in black and white so he could look white. And they said, I watched a documentary years ago, a historical documentary. This man used to powder his face to look lighter. So he was wearing powder, like when women say, I got to go powder my nose. Well, no, not powder my nose, because that means a whole different thing. But foundation and powder, this man used to powder so he could look lighter complected. He didn't want any of his black features to show. And he was doing a Sammy Sosa, lightening his skin, relaxing his hair. So in those pictures, he looked more typically Latino. How disgusting. That's why you hear the favorite line in Dominicans is, I know black, I Dominican. Tell me I'm lying. I know black, I'm Dominican. But guess what the joke is? I bet you with Trump and his troops out there, they're like, I know Dominican, I'm black. I bet you it's self-loathing. Nobody's familiar with that term, I know black, I Dominican? That is yes, indeed, Ma'at. That's a common, I grew up with Dominicans. I got Dominicans I love, but baby, Dominicans will hit you with the, I know black, I Dominican, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because the worst thing in the world to them is being associated with African features and phenotypes and genes and bloodlines. They rather look like their oppressor. They want to look like the colonizer. They have Stockholm syndrome. Yes, Haiti has resources out the wazoo, and that's what every single colonizer has been trying to get at. They can't handle that mountainous terrain, baby. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. Why do you think they give you such horrific stories about Haiti on the news? The savages, they're going crazy. They are replicating what you did to them. They are acting the way you acted when you came in the country and pillaged and plundered them for all of their natural resources and greatness. How come when you smack somebody and they take that smack and then they come and smack you back, you scream, why you smacked me? You smacked me. Why are you mad at my same tactics? Why? How dare you be disgruntled by me using the same tactics you use? If you came to their country with savagery and pilfered their country and raped the people and the country, Haiti's rich resources and the amazing people that came out of Haiti, authors, artists, brilliant scientists, the lineage of Haiti is long and fantabulous. There's a lot of Haitian people out here you don't even know. They're Haitian. In the 80s, who was it that brought it up to me? Was it Kat? Who said it? Back when they used to, if you're in the chat still, let me know. Who said it? They asked me, do I remember when the country came against Haiti and spread all the false narratives about Haiti in the 80s? Let me tell y'all about that. I know some of y'all probably saw it in the chat. Who said it? You said it, K-Lig? Okay. Let me tell you what that was. In the 1980s, when the HIV and AIDS, what do you want to call it? Crisis started occurring. It was years. They could not get Ronald Reagan to say the word HIV or AIDS. He wouldn't say it. He was aware. They called it everything. They called it GRID first, gay cancer. They called it gay something, something, something. They had every name for it. They wouldn't say the word AIDS. They didn't want it. It was plausible deniability. They don't say it. We don't know it exists. Don't make eye contact. If you don't make eye contact, they didn't see you. Epidemic. Thank you. When the epidemic started, they did not want to acknowledge it, even though they knew, like I told y'all the other day, patient zero, Gaitan Dugan. Listen, God, the God we serve, baby. God said, y'all gonna hear this truth. The man's name is Gaitan Dugan. Gaitan. That's his name. I ain't trying to be funny. GRID was gay-related immuno disease. They said when the gay men used to use poppers, that was some kind of schmexual thing they used to use and drug, and they used to insert it and do all kind of blah, 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 and it let down their defenses, let down their zeros. They used to have a thing in America, for those of you who don't know, called bathhouses. Oh, now that was and that is some Grecian, Greco-Roman thing from back in the days. Bathhouses. These lovely establishments with beds and tubs and running water and pools and jacuzzis inside, and you could go take community baths and all kind of thing, and community shower and all kind of thing, and get in there and, as we say in the Caribbean, dugu dugu. You know what I'm talking about. And they used to go in there and bust it wide open and then take a shower. And a whole lot of stuff took place in a bathhouse. And that is where the epidemic of immunodeficiency virus and acquired immune deficiency syndrome began. That's where it permeated. It didn't begin. Gaitan Dugan was very liberated, schmexually liberated. And he was busting it wide open everywhere. And he was a airline steward, a flight attendant. So he was going from city to city to city to city. And when you hear people talk about homosexuality, we are not disavowing your desire to love who you love. We are saying, why you gotta be so free with it? Why you gotta spread it all around? Why you gotta bust it all around? There's something so beautiful about leaving some mystery to yourself. How does Bug get in here? There is something so, and yes, by all means, it could have begun in a lab, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you what I know. You don't believe me? I will review that next. We will review that tomorrow morning. Gaitan Dugan is patient zero. When they were able to start creating the gay man's health crisis and all of that, and I don't believe it started. Here's the deal. I believe that some degree, I believe it was exacerbated in a lab, but I believe wholeheartedly, because I believe it wasn't a new illness. God gave me eyes to see and ears to hear. And I'm going to tell you something. He also gave me the ability to look at people and see it. You ever saw that clip that when Dick Gregory was talking and he talked about the magic glasses? He said, when God lets you put on those magic glasses, you can never take them off. You can never unsee what you've seen, and you can never take them off. God blessed me with the ability to see. That's why I'm single. Let me tell y'all something, and I don't mean to scare anybody. That shit is more than epidemic proportion. That shit is a pandemic. Everybody, that shit is so rampant. Everywhere I go, I see, man, blah, 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 blah. This one got it. I could see them. I'm not trying to be funny. It could sound crazy to somebody. I'm not interested in your thoughts. If you think I sound crazy, vamos, bye. Poof, this ain't your home. Go, move from here and away. I don't care. I have showed y'all enough times that God is the center of my life. I have given you proof of how God shows up and shows out in my life over and over again. I don't care about any looking ass who came to peer and like, oh, she crazy. She thinks she got the ability to see. I do. I've called it out. I actually called a guy out. He was really a nice guy. And here's the deal. It's all, but by the grace of God, there go I. We all have dated somebody that we looked in the past and was like, ooh, child, anybody seen Peter? Oh, he's still alive? He healthy? We have all had a moment like that. Tell me I'm wrong. We all got somebody that we thought was spectacular and great, and they turned out to be a sleazebag. Cheating, doing all kinds of stuff, all type of stuff. I'm not even saying that if someone is infected, that they cannot go on to lead and have a healthy life. What my problem is a lot of the people who are infected don't have a clue. That's my problem. They don't know. Or they are too reckless to give a what. They don't care. Or the ones who suspect that they got it ain't going on to check because out of sight, out of mind. They don't care. I don't want to think about it. Tell me I'm wrong. Everywhere I go, I keep bucking up on. I go places and I see a lovely woman, and you know how you could go places and you and your friends kind of like people watch and you read the room. You can see who's on a date. You're like, okay, they've been dating for a while. They probably engaged. They married. That they married and they don't like each other. They just going through the motions. They on the verge of divorce. These ones just started, or they just cut buddies. You could look around the restaurant and know, right or wrong. Don't y'all people watching can see those different things? Well, guess what? I've gone out plenty of times and people watched and saw all of the above. And I could see that one person in the relationship got it and the other one don't. And I'd be pretty sure that the one who don't got it don't know that the other one got it. I see people on dates. I can see the guy. I'm like, oh, he got it. What do I do in times like that? What can I do? Shall I walk up and be like, hey, shorty, watch your back? What am I going to do? I ain't pricking his finger. I know what I know. But when you try to warn somebody about something they don't want to hear, think about your homegirl who man was cheating on her. You tried to warn her. Watch your back with that one, sis. You a hater. You jealous. You listen. Can you tell people that don't want to be told? Can you tell them? You can't tell them nothing. People who don't want to be told that their mate ain't ish, you can't tell them nothing. They'll turn on you. They'll turn on you. So I see it all the time. I'm not saying that with proper treatment and medication, people can't go on. I actually know a couple that one person was positive and the other one was negative. And they both knew of the other one's status. The other one was treated and had medication. And I knew something happened that the topic came up and God had already told me. So when they said it, or when the person said something, I was like, it's okay. Listen, hey. But for the grace of God, there go I. All of us have had a situation where, you healthy, you live in life, you have love in your life. And the one who was negative did their proactive things. There's medications to keep them negative. And they can go on and have a lovely life. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the people who know and don't care. They out here trying to take everybody out. The ones who don't know and will never go check, and they just reckless and stupid, they dangerous. Oh, they dangerous. But even worse is the ones that consider and think, but they won't try. They won't go find out because they don't want to know. Out of sight, out of mind. They got that mentality, I gotta die or something. Look on the dating sites. You'll see people whose pictures, the first picture, they look nice and rosy and they look fly. The pictures start going down, he look a little sick. He look a little funny. Next picture, he look like, oh, you okay there, brother? Next picture, you like, you can't see that? You can't see yourself? And they don't even know. They still out here opening line. I don't want no woman who playing games. Y'all be playing too much games. I want somebody that's serious. I'm like, Ninja, you got a mirror? The mirror is the most serious thing you got. Go look in that mug. But they don't want to hear. What can you tell a mug who don't want to hear? In fact, I'm going to go get Trusty Dusty and I'm going to come on back. And this time I am getting on. I know I'll be saying I'm getting on y'all. Sometime I come back and then Trusty Dusty wants to spend time with me and we laugh and talk. And then I'll be like, today I'm coming back. What y'all want to talk about? I'm getting ready to run and go get her. Tell me what y'all want to talk about. Y'all want to continue this conversation? What's SFA? You know I'm old, child. I don't be knowing all these abbreviations, Kim. What is SFA? I know, child. Listen, everybody knows. You want to hear the joke? I always tell people, I'm gonna call you back. I never call back. They be like, "You ain't calling back." That's that thing. What y'all want to talk about? Oh, come up with some ideas though. What's SFA? Somebody said SFA. Who said it? Kim? What was that? Y'all got to tell y'all friends about, can we talk about the government people losing jobs? Absolutely. Kat said, I don't know SFA either. Shannon, you want to talk about the government people losing jobs? Yes, we can absolutely, because that's crazy. And I'm going to tell you how it is about to get epidemic. You know what I told my kids yesterday? Let me read the text I sent to my children. We have our inner circle group. Remember when that whole Risa Tisa thing happened, child? We call our inner circle group proof of funds. Remember Legion? He came with a proof of funds for the house when he knew he ain't had no house. Yes, because DMV is shook. Oh, I know it. There's certain regions that's very shook. Baby, anybody in North Carolina, y'all best to watch y'all back. Woo! Watch your back, North Carolina. Also, North Carolina, Florida, Sweet Fall. What's Sweet Fall? What am I missing? I don't know what Sweet Fall is. Oh, you have to tell me. I don't know. But let me tell y'all what I wrote, and I'm gonna break out because you know, Trusty Dusty be mad when I'm tardy. I literally said, oh, I know what we're gonna talk about. Are you guys aware? Shout out to Locked, the dopest mod. Are you guys aware that the United States flag has been changed? Put a 1 in the chat if you know that the United States flag has been changed. Sweet F all. Sweet F all. Y'all gonna call me slow, but me no know what sweet F all. I don't know what it is. Oh, baby defroggies, honey. That what they call a house in Virginia. Do y'all know what we're going to create a whole glossary of terms. We need a glossary of terms because y'all got to know these terms. A house in Virginia. Whenever you say such and such got a house in Virginia, or somebody walks up to you and say, hey girl, watch out for that guy, he got a house in Virginia. A house in Virginia is the street acronym for HIV. If somebody tells you, oh, I know that guy, he got a house in Virginia, and you think she means, oh, I know him, he used to have property in Virginia. No, boo-boo. She is saying house in Virginia is the street acronym for HIV. Y'all better get into that. Your girl is here to share it all with you. And it's a lot of houses in Virginia out there, okay? Big time. Well, what was so the question, you put a 2 in the chat that you did not know that the United States flag has changed. 1 in the chat means you know it changed. 2 in the chat means you don't know it changed. Yes, that is 90s slang, Chrissy. Tell them about it, girl. Listen, honey. Listen. Oh, yes, the DMV is lit, honey. But a lot of that comes from that whole DC and Maryland heroin issue. A lot of it is from heroin and needles. But okay, when I come back, listen, the United States flag, since how long has Trump been in office? 3 weeks? Trump has been in office 3 weeks. We warned y'all Trump voters about Project 2025. You thought we was lying? Well, listen, the United States is no more. Rest in peace, Chrissy. Rest in peace to your dad. My apologies. Rest in peace to your dad. And listen, so many people have been lost to it. So many people. Because they don't like to educate you. And there is a story behind that. There is a story. We're going to go into that. But what we're going to talk about a hodgepodge of things. But we're going to talk about the United States flag is officially changed. On the government websites, there are only 9 stars on the flag. Do you know why there are only 9 stars on the flag? And it is completely connected to them losing their jobs, Shannon. The 9 stars on the flag, shout out to my girl Locked, who also sent me this information. You want to know why there's 9 stars on the flag? The 9 stars represent the 9 states, the first 9 states that seceded from the United States of America when the Confederacy came into place. America is finished. Not just the dumbing down of America. America is done. If you change the United States flag without notifying its citizens, and you change it from the 50 stars to 9 stars, which represent the 9 states that seceded from the government initially for the Confederacy, we are now the Confederacy. If y'all don't know, you better ask somebody. Yes, you don't believe me? While I run to go get Trusty Dusty, use their Google. Look up what is the 9-star flag. Go on a couple of government websites. Go on gov.gov or whitehouse.gov. You're going to go in the corner. You're going to see the flag at the top corner. Spread that mug out. The shit got 9 stars. United States is finished. And that's why the Democrats ain't fighting back, because they know. The ones who are fighting back is trying to hold on. I also got another video for y'all where a whole bunch of Congress people went to the Department of Education to try to get in the building, and one of Trump's cronies, a white guy, stood there and was like, you can't come in. 2 our sitting elected officials would not let them in. That happened today. Baby, when I come back, we got some talking to do. And listen here. What you will hear me say from now and forever, I'm going to say it right now. I don't care who got an attitude. I'm letting you know. When you hear me drag people that voted for Trump, I'm going to drag you for filth. I'm going to drag you to the white meat. You know, when your skin's scraped down to the pink meat, is scraped all the way down, and then you see that pink meat, and when you get a bruise, it starts making those little purple dots. Yes, I'm dragging you down to the bone, because this is your doing. You could not overcome your desire for the websites are down. They trying to hide that flag. Don't worry, I got it. I'm gonna put it on the screen for y'all. They are trying the road rash, Chrissy. Tell them I'm gonna drag you to the bone, because this is your doing. You have such lack of respect and disdain for your fellow man. You want them to be demonized and you to be elevated. You hate immigrants. You hate black people. You hate everybody. And guess what? You hate Latinos. You even hate the Latinos for Trump. And guess what? All of your hate is doing you in. Hate is a cancer, boo. It don't just hurt the other person. It hurts the holder of the hate. Look at what we got. In 2 weeks, they changed the flag. You ain't got no, listen, not only did the price of eggs not go down, boo-boo, you can't even get eggs. They done started their new grift, new pandemic, bird flu. And that's a wheel and come again. Because remember, bird flu in the 90s. Or was it the 90s or the early 2000s? Late 90s, early 2000s, it was bird flu, because they used to call it avian flu and all avian influenza and all this. Listen here. Not only is bird flu back, even Waffle House, where the cooks ain't got no teeth, and neither do the servers. And they got the little cracky shake too. How you doing, baby? Hang on, what you gonna have today? Listen, they are charging 50 cents an egg, 2000s. Thank you. 50 cents an egg surcharge. So don't walk in there and talk about, I want 2 over-even scrambled with brown waffle and 4 eggs. That's the main price plus an extra 50 cents each for the eggs. That's what y'all got from Trump. You wanted lower grocery prices? Now you got to pay 50 cents an egg. 50 cents an egg if you go out to eat. And in a minute, you ain't going to be able to afford to go out to eat. And you ain't going to be able to go out to eat because ain't no Mexicans to clean up behind you and wash the dishes. You're going to eat. Mama say, we got eggs at home. You're going to eat at home. That's what y'all did. You're so cancerous against other people, you are destroying yourself. I shall return shortly. I know y'all love my madness. I shall return. It's only 35 cents in Oklahoma. Well, it's 50 cents all over the place. Yeah, there you go. Where is our spine? It doesn't exist. Have you seen? And another special I'm going to do with y'all too is all of the congressional people who have been grifting our and violating finance rules and the SEC rules, Securities and Exchange Commission, by getting insider trading information. You know who one of the top congressmen is? Rule Akhal, something like that. I can't pronounce his name. California. Oh, baby. This other one, he's the worst. There's this guy, he's the worst. But you know who's in the tops? Friggin' Nancy Pelosi. Friggin' Marjorie Taylor Greene. Listen, in my opinion and belief, that bimbo, I didn't even think she was smart enough to grift the system. My girl has, I think they said $40 million in stock trades from sitting in committees, hearing. They even chronicled, because they have to put, they have to show everything they did every time they sell a stock or buy a stock. They have to report it. They showed how the worst congressman by far, got the insider information in a committee where they announced that. Remember when they shut us down that March 2nd? They shut down everybody and you had to stay home because of COVID. He was in a committee meeting like 2 days before. He heard the information that they were going to shut down. He left the committee. They showed within a couple of minutes, he went to his office. He called his brother-in-law. And the conversation lasted for 50 seconds. The brother-in-law sold millions of dollars in stock, and he did too. And then the whole world got shut down March 2nd or 12th or whatever it was. Egregious. They said Nancy Pelosi and her husband during the friggin' pandemic went to $179 million made off of stocks. What the? These ninjas is insider trading. The deck is stacked against us like a mug. We will never, but we ain't even got to worry about all of that. Our government is officially collapsed. If you don't know, our government is officially, yes, Shannon, our government has officially collapsed already. It's collapsed. America is done. Let me tell you what I wrote to my kids. And this is what I wrote to them last night. I said, the fall of America has already started. Please pay attention. The flag on all government websites has been changed to 9 stars. Those 9 stars represent the 9 states that seceded from the United States of America during the Confederacy, the first 9 states. Please get your stuff together, get your money together, make sure you always got your passport and personal information and stuff together and on you. America has fallen, my children. I love you. We have to stay together. We have to stay together. I said this to my children yesterday. My 17-year-old is in this group chat. This is me and my children. You know how hard it was to send this? What you think make America great again mean? Let me tell you something. I do reupholstery. I knew the grift was on when friggin' they wanted farmhouse everything. I said, what the hell are they obsessed with this farmhouse, this old dusty shit from when plantation furniture? I said this years ago, before we ever got here. Once you seen everybody farmhouse, old paint cans and old milk cans, bruised up furniture. I wish I would take my money and buy some bruised up looking stuff. I knew something was wrong then. But people ain't want to hear me. People was like, girl, you be watching too much TV. You be saying some crazy stuff. And look where we at now. I soon come. I will come back soon just now. Talk amongst yourselves. I will be back shortly. Make sure you guys got your notebooks and everything. And the dopest mod will be handing out late passes. Don't be late because you're going to get some demerits. You're going to get detention. Just now, I'm going to come back soon.